Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to the Luminous Atabe Tarot. I want to do a full moon in Libra reading to see what energy, what is the energy this full moon for us all. And I have 3 different groups here. And that's group 1, group 2, and group 3. You could choose the character the Chinese character or the Japanese character that resonates with you, whether that's 1, 2, and 3 for your full moon reading. And if this reading resonates with you, please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think. I look forward to it. And you can see the timestamps. You can see the timestamps below. Sorry, excuse me. It's for you to jump ahead to the pile that you've chosen. All right, group 1. If you chose the first character for the number 1, this is the reading for you for this full moon in Libra. I'm getting a big message of self-belief here for the full moon in Libra. Believing that you and your ideas and your skills, your mind, your experiences, your life will lead you towards the change that you're looking for and hoping for. That's what I see here in the cards. And really, it's a message of loving the process, being real kind to yourself as you venture, as you think of new ways to make good use of your mind and your talents during your time here on Earth. I can tell that you have a strong desire to manifest. There's projects that you have in mind. There's things that you want to do, places you want to go, and things you want to see. Hoping for a change. And the message is that it all comes down to belief, self-belief, belief in the process, belief in the universe. Moving forward with light and passion and fire. And that can be really hard when we feel like our heart's been broken. We feel like somehow like we've been cheated, like life has abandoned us, like the cosmos aren't there for us, almost like it's just one battle after another. And I want to emphasize this card right here. It's a quote. I'm really very hard on myself, so when I hear imperfections, I get freaked out. And it says here, perfection is a mirage. You rewrite, rethink, and wish you'd done better, but hear this. What you created was already divine and beautiful. Perfectionism steals joy and blinds you to your own majesty. Don't wait until something's gone to treasure it. And avoid being trapped in perpetual longing for something that's non-existent. The affirmation is, it's okay that I'm not perfect. I'm enough as I am. I can see the beauty in my imperfections. So although there are so many skills and talents and dreams that you have, there's just this battle that one feels, when we're trying our best out here. We can feel more sensitive to our shortcomings, more aware, and not feeling like we can let go of that insecurity. But when we have so many good things going for us, we owe it to ourselves to release the high expectations, the unfair expectations that we can put on ourselves and others can put on us. Because sometimes it's self-imposed and sometimes it's coming from another place. And sometimes when we're trying our best to move forward and make things happen, it feels like we wonder how much of our values we have to compromise. How much can we stay true to our inner self in our path forward? It's always like a balancing act. I get a sense of a balancing act. Like, how do I be true to myself and at the same time play this game? It's a feeling of needing to strategize and play chess with life, with people in our lives, and with systems and structures that are just in life. And so the question really is, how can we face that all but remain jovial and creative and fun? Is there a way that makes sense for you? So that way change can come rather than be pushed away. And I think it's also a matter of knowing what we truly desire. What do we truly want and need? And that can change. And I think it's important for us to be open to that change. But the first step in moving towards the end goal is to know what is the goal. What skills do I have? What can I offer? And when those things become clear, it becomes a lot easier to invite that change in and do it from a place of positive creation. And there's another message that I wanted to read here, which is the debut era card. The first sentence is, trust your vision. Trust your vision. Okay, you're stepping into new opportunities guided by a deep sense of purpose. Manifest by believing that success has already arrived. The world sees your light, but with every ascent comes tests. So will you shape the path, or will others? Will you shape the path, or will others shape it for you? Trust your vision. Combat your performance anxiety and believe. Your destiny remains intact and success is guaranteed. It is guaranteed. Major success is guaranteed. Something that you've envisioned, something that you can see clearly in your mind. And the success, there's no time, like, I wouldn't even, how do I say, like, it can take time. or it can happen sooner than we imagine. But whatever you are thinking of is something that you are willing to get your hands down and dirty for, that you're literally willing to grind for. It's something that means so much to you. Or your soul is hungry for knowing what is worth that full investment and passion. And so the full moon is telling you to believe, to create, to uplift yourself, and to be clear on what your vision is. What is your vision? And whatever's not going to serve us in that vision, towards that vision and manifesting that reality in our lives, we have to just let it go. Because overwhelming sadness and feeling that sense of defeat, it serves its purpose for the moment, just honoring how we feel and sitting with it to understand ourselves, to understand like the world that we're in more. But I think that there comes a time when it's not serving us and it's not helping us move towards that goal. So I think it's a month of reflection on what things can we allow to dissipate. What is serving us and what is not. Okay? And just remembering that success is guaranteed. Not having any doubt in yourself or in... I feel like seeds have been planted. I feel like you've been working on something for a long time, and it's not necessarily something new, but it could be. So, but just believing like everything that you've done previously, it is leading you to a better situation. A situation where your art, your love for, I feel like a love for creating things, a love for art, a love for community, a love for food, a love for fashion, a love for design. I get even a love of building things, fixing things, planning, like documenting, analyzing. Just so many different talents. With all of those talents, there's no way that you won't be able to figure out how to move forward and stay feeling good about your journey. With all those skills and talents, it's important just remembering this full moon in Leo that you can do it. You can do it. You can make it happen. All right? And that's the message that I have for you for this full moon in... Did I say Leo? I meant full moon in Libra. The full moon in Libra. So please like, comment, and subscribe if it resonated with you, and I'll see you next time. Okay, group 2, this is for everybody who chose the number 2 character here. This is your message for this full moon in Libra. And immediately the feeling that I get is just wanting cycles to come to an end, or wishing that things were just as they seem, because in the end, like, things always turn out differently than we sometimes may imagine. And it's frustrating to have to go through that again and again and again. Or for one to feel like, well, what else do I need to do differently so that this doesn't keep happening in my life? It's frustrating. And I get this sense of wanting to, this month, find a way to not fall into that same trap, wanting to make a decision for yourself, trying to be clear on the path forward to what we want, and allowing that good to come in. Because there's a lot of, I don't know, I get a sense of there's been a lot of pain. So sometimes we just have to think like, well, why did it happen, and why does it keep happening? That's what I get here. And especially if we're surrounded by dysfunction, sometimes it's not even like our fault. Sometimes life is just full of these trials and tribulations that have nothing to do with us and our decisions. Sometimes it's like it's someone else around you that makes you feel like you're in a constant cycle of repeating these thought patterns, or these actions, or these toxic like relationships that almost like bind us, that keep us almost like crying over another, crying because of others, feeling frustrated because it's like other people have messed with our empire and put us in a situation where we're feeling like alone in managing all of the problems. And it's like, wow, why am I doing this again? Why is it me managing everything again? Why can't people, I almost feel like people depend on you. I feel like a household depends on you, a company depends on you, and it's just, you're really needing to figure out a way that's clear on how to keep things not just in order, but keep things flowing, keep things like flowing in a way that it's not just stagnant in the same thing. This month, you're wondering, how can I live differently? How can my situation be different? How can the energies shift? You're like, I'm done. I'm done with this like rumination, and I'm done with thinking about all that is kind of like shattered and broken here due to these other people who are involved in some nonsense. Like, some people are just trifling, and some of those people, we might love them a lot, but they may have a lot of different things that they're going through. Substance abuse issues, mental health issues. Some people we love may be wrapped up in, legal issues. They may have struggles with disabilities and may just, have a hard time managing their emotions around any and all of those issues. And it's like, well, the question I hear is like, well, what do I do? And there's this sense of like, you feeling trapped in the cycle of that issue, the cycle of holding it down, and the cycle of dealing with people and their problems. And you know, some of these people, as wonderful as they may be, because I get that sense of like some of these people are just so charismatic and they're so fun and personable, and there's a strong connection that you feel towards them, and yet, are they allowing you to live the best way that you can live? Like, question mark, you know what I mean? Like, that's the question. And I get a sense of like you needing them to, like, you needing them because you're trying to like get ahead and be successful in your own right, and you really can't do it completely alone with all of the different struggles and heartbreak that you're dealing with. That's what I get here. And you're like, I need to find a way. Okay, and it says here, this is the pre-fame era card. And it says, you've been down to your last dollar, scraping by however you can. You must hustle, you must grind, you must push through the misery of today to create the life you envision for tomorrow. Through it all, you've been naughty and you've been nice. People from your past may recall different versions of you. So, there's a bit of cycles there too, like cycles of naughty and nice, of like cycles of ups and downs. We all have them. This month you're like a little bit done with it all. There was a breaking point for you that you're like, I don't like this situation. I don't like how I'm struggling. I don't like how part of the struggles are because of me and part of the struggles are due to other people. There's a sense of not feeling any agency. It's your life. So why not have any agency? I mean, why have no agency when it's your life, right? Like, I think that's what you're sort of thinking and asking yourself. Like, is it fair? If it's my life to live, why do things that are not aligned with me? Why be with people that are not aligned with me? And again, really the message is like, what things can you cut out? What things do you need to keep? How can you break out of the cycle? And I get the sense that it feels a little impossible because there's love involved. It's someone you love. Like, it's not, it could be family, but I think it's also someone that you genuinely have love and affection and intimacy for. And like, through all of this pain and you trying to hold it down, like, I get a sense of like, it's just been you and this partner of yours. That's how you've been able to get through. Without them, how would you, I feel like the sense of like, well, without them, what am I, kinda, what am I? Like, it's been a struggle financially. It's been a struggle manifestation wise, of trying to make my dreams happen. And it's just been me and them. And so there's a kind of like a beauty in those moments. Sometimes you end up, when we're in that pain with someone, it's almost beautiful, yeah. But here, some of the lyrics we have here for the song Impossible, it says, we were two little people wrapped up in this big old world, drifting round in space, out of place. See? Just feeling out of place, feeling like it's just you and another person, or and just getting lost in that, right? Then you took my hand and made me a part of you. But sometimes if we love someone but we're wrapped in cycles, partly because of them and partly because of ourselves, like, I don't know, I think what's left is the question of, well, what remains when that partner is removed from the picture? It's just you. When we take away the job and we take away our relationships and we take away all those things, we're literally left with just ourselves. And so the last card to me connects to that idea. It says here, great gospel singing gives me chills. It comes from way down deep inside when the good gospel singers sing. They soar. I wish I could soar like that. And the first sentence in this oracle card says, we must lose ourselves in what we love. We transcend the limits of the physical world. Time dissolves and we connect with something greater. It's just this desire to connect with greater than what is. And really, when we take away all of the noise around us, I feel like that is the center. That's literally the center of, like, if this is a body, this is like the center, and it's like your heart space. And I feel like this is what matters. How are we connecting with ourselves, with our spirit, with our heart? How are we giving time to foster that relationship? Because at the end of the day, this is really what remains. And this is, I feel like, what can break us out of cycles and bring more clarity. First of all, finding a passion, sticking to that passion, but going into a space where, like, you're consumed by the act. There's an affirmation here at the bottom. I pour my soul into what I love and trust it to align me with my higher purpose. And so if we are affirmed and clear on that higher purpose, then it's much easier to cut out the noise and to then figure out what needs to go and what needs to stay in terms of patterns and relationships and beyond. Okay, so that's the message I got for you for this full moon in Libra. And I hope it resonated with you. If it did, you can leave a comment, like, subscribe. Let me know. All right, I'll see you next time. All right, this is for the third group. If you chose the number 3 character sign, then this is for you for the full moon in Libra message this month. And what's coming through immediately is your hard work. You're working hard to balance everything that's going on. I mean, really balance, finances, balance obligations, financial obligations, balancing career obligations, and family responsibilities. That's what I get here immediately, and just wanting to do good by your family. You want to make them proud. I think you're investigating a lot into how you can get ahead, get ahead in your job, get ahead in your finances. It's like you're looking into every nook and cranny trying to understand situations better. I think that you love reading naturally and writing, but I think it's just a moment in time where you're looking through your document, or you might start considering soon just looking through your documents and seeing if everything's adding up, making sure your accounts make sense. Also reading into, I don't know, certificate programs, certificate programs or alternative programs to just move forward. Sometimes, like our job, for example, can pay for us to get extra schooling or training, things like that, like looking into ways to elevate. You might also just like be reading for reading's sake, but or writing just to write, but it's tough when we have so many things to balance, because I think I get the sense of sometimes it makes people feel a little bit left out of our picture because we're so consumed in what we're trying to create for ourselves that other people may not understand it, because they're not, or if they do understand it, they empathize, they have compassion towards your struggle. And I get the sense that actually this struggle, you're supported through the struggle. You're actually giving birth to something new, and the situation is actually supporting you to make it happen. Make it happen to continue to balance things financially. And literally, you get the "it's like that" card. Celebration, freedom, rebirth. Being completely unfazed. Being in a state of seducing life. Really. Inviting in good. Fortune. Attention. Good attention. Good love. Good recognition. And we may not feel like it's a party, because really the first line says, "I came to have a party," and open up the Bacardi. So we may not feel that way. It says, "Feeling so hot tamale." So when you're working so hard and you may not even have time for your partner or your partners or whoever's in your life, like you. So it's hard to feel like we're all that when we're just busy working hard. The rainbow era you get, look here, it's a whirlwind of hasty decisions. You battle both real and imagined adversaries, bumping heads with the powers that be. The world feels heavy. You desire deeper connection and authentic expression. And remember that after every storm, if you look hard enough, a rainbow appears. So it's just been challenging. Like, you're almost like, well, how am I supposed to celebrate? How am I supposed to feel like I'm all that? And have this confidence of being like, yeah, I'm doing the thing, and that's what it is. It's just really challenging if people are making us feel like we aren't free to celebrate our successes, that we have to walk on eggshells just to make other people feel comfortable. I mean, I get the card here says, "Those people who have hurt me are deeply significant in my story, but they're not central to my existence." So you've just been hurt a lot. You're like, listen, I'm just trying to get ahead. And I'm trying to do right by people I love. You're trying to do right by people you love. Your family. Your loved ones. You're trying to stick to your purpose. You're really trying to create a legacy for yourself. It's something beyond just your job. You already have this mission of for greatness. You have these passion projects and these plans, and there is vibrancy. You have a vibrant energy, even though you're overworked, even though you're weighed down by all of your problems, and like some of your decisions have been good, some of them haven't, like it's been hit or miss, but like you're still standing and you're still celebrating life. Or there's a call to just like, there's a call to not take it so seriously, because like at the end of the day, you're still rocking it. You're rocking it, right? Even when you don't feel that way, you are doing the thing. You are paying those bills. You are learning how to do your job better. And I think that this month, the full moon of Libra is saying, how can we notice? How can we be more aware of the people and the situations that are actually supporting our movement towards something better for our lives? Because if the job provides training, if someone at work is actually supporting your vision or uplifting a certain skill or talent, and it might cause more work for you. Like, you know, sometimes you're so good that people start to like delegate and have you do things because you're so good, and like that can sort of be problematic. But in some it's really about like having the balance of deciding when can I say no, and when should I stay open-minded and consider that extra work, quote unquote, as something that is positive for me, something that can invite more in for me. Maybe that extra work is worth it then, maybe not. Or maybe during a certain period it is, and then during another period it's not. And being okay with that back and forth, that ebb and flow of moments of working hard and moments of pulling back a bit, or moments of taking on and moments of not. And really, because otherwise it'll drive you crazy. The overworking will cloud our decisions. So, or like the ruminating on like how much we've been hurt in the midst of all the overworking. I mean, you know that, I mean, it's that feeling of everything going not necessarily wrong at the same time, but it just feels that like when it rains it pours. That's the sort of vibe I'm getting. So how are we supposed to stay vibrant and confident through all that? But that's really the only option. The only option I'm getting here is to consider that the only option is to show up loving life, fun, energetic, confident, like if you're ready for a party. Showing up thinking as the situation and the people around you as being on your team, whether they are or not. Being like, yep, everybody here's on my team, they're my crew. Like, this is my, this is my entourage, and they're all here to help me succeed. Even if that may not be true. Because I just get the sense that you are doing what you gotta do. You are studying, you are researching, you are preparing. You're helping others, others are helping you to allow something to come in that you've already, it's almost like you already kind of know what you want to come in, but it's almost like a surprise too. It's a mix of like, you know, but you don't know. You know, but you're also open to allow something fresh and new to come in. That rebirth. But, you know, again, sometimes the only option is to celebrate and be happy, because right here, the alternative is, you know, it says no tears, no time to cry, no stress, no fights. I'm leaving it all behind. I'm just making the most of life. Sorry, I read that out of order. No tears, no fights. I'm leaving it all behind. I'm reading it all out of order, but you get me. I mean, because the tears and the fights and the stress and the... It's just not... It's not going to be helpful. I mean... And you got the Rainbow Era card. I mean... And also right here, it says it. In the Oracle card, let your hair down and allow your love for life to take over. Invite happiness in. Put... You know, pet puppies, find a Latin muse, escape to the beach. Nobody can take away the light that shines brightly in you. Embrace, I'm reading it all out of order, but sorry. Embrace your flamboyant, playful spirit. Just show up. Just show up as you want. Screw people. Like, if people are not on our side, screw them. If people don't like what you're wearing, screw them. People don't like what you're reading, how you're doing it, what you're writing. If people don't, it's just like, screw it, screw it. Focus on you. They can stay mad. They can stay mad. So what if you feel extra that day? Just so what? I get that. That's to me, that's like the big message here for the full moon in Libra. Like, so what? Not being so affected by whether people are for you or against you, people are liking your idea or not. Not allowing them to sway how you're feeling about yourself. And still being like, yep, it's like that. I win, you know, no matter what you think, no matter how messed up I look or sound or whatever it is, I'm here. And I'm still going to pull, like, I'm still going to have a number one. That's what I get. I'm still going to have a number one hit no matter what you do. All right. So I hope that was a message to help you feel empowered this full moon in Libra. And if it resonates with you, please like, comment, and subscribe. I can't wait till next time, so I'll see you then. Bye-bye.